Welcome back to WCDC Art. For this project, you'll need cardstock, a pencil, colored pencils, watercolor, paintbrushes, and a fine point permanent marker. Our first step after you get a circle on your paper is to draw our mountain shapes. So for this, I'm just going to do kind of jagged lines up and down the center of my circle to kind of get the mountainous line down. And from there, I'm going to add some shadowing shapes to my mountains. So from the point of each mountain, I'm going to bring a line down and make a shape and bring the line back up. We're later going to fill this in with some lines, but right now we're just doing the outline of our shadows. Next, we're just going to take our fine point permanent marker and we're just going to trace over all of our pencil lines so far. And still using our fine point permanent marker, we are going to add some diagonal lines into our shadow shapes. So for my lines, I'm just going to follow the angle of my mountain that I have right in that spot. And for each shadow shape, I'm going to try to match that angle of the diagonal line. You can have your lines as close together as you want or as far apart as you want, and you don't even have to go in that same angle that I am. You can do vertical lines, you can do zigzags, you can really do a lot in these little shapes. For our next step, we are going to need something to trace a smaller circle with. So I'm going to use a small plastic cup and I'm going to center it in my larger circle. And I'm just going to use a pencil to trace the part that's above the mountains. And then I'm going to take my pencil and draw a line from the top of my outer circle to the top center of my inner circle. And then I'm going to draw another line and another. I just want to make sure that I have equal sized shapes. And then I'm going to mirror that on the other side of that center line. And then again, I'm just going to take my fine point permanent marker and I'm going to trace over all of those pencil lines that we just made. Now we can start the fun part of coloring. So I'm going to start with my red because red comes first in a rainbow. And I'm going to color my leftmost shape red. I want a nice even coat. You can start off by coloring it lightly and then go over and build up more coats with your colored pencil. And my next color will be the color that comes after red in a rainbow, which is orange. And then I'm just going to keep adding colors in the order that they appear on the color wheel and in a rainbow. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Once we have all of our colored pencils down, we are going to go back to our fine point permanent marker and add some trees to the bottom of our circle. So I'm going to start with one vertical line and then I'm going to bring the marker back and forth onto either side of that line. And you could be very loose with this, you could be very jagged. It's going to be an abstract tree in the end. And you could do 3 or 4 little trees all the way at the bottom of the circle. For our last step, we are going to add some color to our mountains. So I'm going to take brown watercolor I'm gonna make sure I have enough water on my brush, and I'm just going to color in the entire mountain area. So this includes the shadow shapes and diagonal lines that we had done before. Because we added dark lines in there, even by putting watercolor on top, it's still going to appear darker. So we are just going to add brown to our entire mountain and let it dry, and then we can hang up and frame our new piece of art.